This week in Retrospect, we take it back to March of 1995, where we look at the success of the Lloyd Region and Marketplace just a few years into its operation.
5 years ago, the Lloydminster Region and Marketplace was developed. It was an organization set up for area businessmen interested in selling goods and services to Husky Oil during construction of the BPU. The idea was so successful that the Alberta government looked at developing it into a region 3 years later.
As a result, we have about close to 5,000 businesses in northeastern Alberta that are now listed with us with the goods and services that they sell.
The project is computer-based, making information about the region very accessible to interested parties.
Typical scenario would be that let's hypothetically assume that a major contractor was coming in to do a project. Let's pick Grand Centre, for example, and he needed sub-trades and many subcontractors, that type of thing. We could quickly give him a list of all the sub-trades and all the subcontractors in the Grand Centre area and in Lloydminster, for that matter, Vermilion, all of our member communities, so that it might encourage him to use those subcontractors rather than to bring his own from wherever he was coming from.
Regional businesses will also be able to be connected with one another on an international scale.
Alberta Economic Development, along with Economic Development Edmonton, have designed a new computer database that is going to allow all communities access to internet. And we intend to download our information in internet, so this information really will be available to the world. So anybody looking at Lloydminster or Provost or Vermilion or Vegreville, Northeastern Alberta Marketplace, will have that information right on their computer, right in front of them.
The Marketplace also gives smaller businesses an opportunity to play on an equal field with the ones that are larger than themselves, this through reverse trade shows.
So the businessman doesn't have to guess at what type of merchandise he needs to have. The procurer, the large institution or business, is going to tell him exactly what he wants. So it's an excellent opportunity for business to interface with large institutions and businesses.
And on this day in 1999, much like today, people in the community are getting ready to file their annual taxes.
Every year, millions of Canadians put off filing their income tax returns until the very last minute.
There is a lot of people in that area who I'm sure are in a quandary as to what to do.
There are no major changes this year, and there is some good news. Interest payments on student loans are now tax deductible whether you're still a student or not, and some low-income taxpayers may qualify for an extra deduction. If you're not aware of things like this, you'll be out of luck. That's why many people are now having their taxes done for them.
We have a substantial increase every year in the number of tax returns that we file, and I think that is the case. It is. If people are making substantial amounts of money, it generally doesn't cost them to have it done professionally. It likely saves them to have it done professionally.
Still, half of all Canadian taxpayers do file their own returns. Be warned, though, it isn't always easy.
It is very difficult to calculate it. You know, you need your income and so much percent of it, and then you take away this from that, and you go on and on and on, and you cannot arrive at the real, the real amount.
The Revenue Canada statistics show that 76% of the returns that are filed manually are done wrong.
Don't be discouraged if you do plan on crunching your own numbers. It's not impossible. Keep these things in mind, and you should be able to complete the task with relatively few headaches.
The biggest thing is to make sure you have all your information that you need. And there's a guide comes out with the tax form, and I would read it first, especially to go through and indicate the things that affect you.
Of all the books in the market, this is your best book for preparing income tax. There's no need to go and buy another book, for $15, $25, $30. And this explains line by line what you have to do. Every line on this form, you come back here and it tells you what to do, if it's applicable to you or not.
And that's all for this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Find New Holland products at Webb's Machinery, your dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, Lamont, Wainwright, St. Paul, and Consort.